Stay with me as I pack a few of my clothes to travel to a new state after a failed visa. On this video, I'll be talking about my failed visa and life after a failed visa. For so long, I've been trying to travel out of the country. It all started during that COVID-19 period while we were home doing nothing. I was always online applying for scholarship and all of that stuff. Do you guys know that on three different occasions I was given a scholarship, but because of one reason or the other, I could not make it. So I said to myself, whatever comes, whatever may happen, I'll always keep on trying to leave this country to go look for a greener pasture. I will do everything possible to make it happen. So one day, one of our family friend reached out to me and told me there was an opportunity for me to travel out of the country. Mind you, she and her kids are no longer in the country. She has teenagers, and so she said, "I'll be needing a huge amount of money." You know what that means now when you want to travel out of the country, and so I didn't have that much of a money. So I beckoned to my sister, one of my big sisters, and when I told her about the opportunity, because she already remember on several occasions when I asked her for help to travel during that period I was given scholarship. So she quickly went into her room, brought out some documents and handed them to me and said, go sell this property and use the money to travel out of the country if the money is gonna be enough. And I was so perplexed. I was very, very surprised. And that was how the process of traveling out started. Um, Although it took a very long time to get a buyer for such property, but God eventually did it, and we were able to sell it, and the money was paid. And so the process got started. The agent told us that the visa process was going to take 2 weeks, and so I had a limited time to do some pack up. 2 weeks was a very short time to get done with everything. I quickly went to the immigration to get my passport. The passport I was able to get was the one that would take not up to 24 hours. Like you go there, you sit down, they will take your pictures, and then you give them your information. Then you sit and wait until it is processed, and then you go home with your passport. So that was the route I used instead of the 2 months, 3 months that I have to wait before my passport gets ready. And that kind of passport costs a whole lot of money. And I did mine during the period when the Muslim brothers were going for their Hajj. So it was very expensive. Because of the limited time, I had to do what I had to do. Told me foodstuffs I'll be buying. I did, and she also said I would need to have some amount of money, and I should go change that amount of money into dollars, and keep it because once I leave the country and arrive at another country, I'll be needing that money. The money that was realized from selling that property was used to pay the agents, and because I had other things I needed to sort out with money, I had to sell other of my property, and I even emptied my house. Like I sold almost everything except my wardrobe, my mattress, and my TV. And so that period, my house was just echoing. Like that was what that I had to do what I had to do so I can travel out of the country. But 2 weeks came and nothing happened, and it's now led to me waiting till 6 months, and I was super worried. I kept asking, "What's the problem? Why is there so much delay? What's happening?" And up to date, the visa is not out, the money is not returned, and stuff like that. And so she kept on telling me that the countries have been denying our visas, especially or like Nigerian visas, that the best way to go about this travel is to go through school routes. And I was like, so what do we do? I do not have money for that and all of that stuff. She said the reason why the countries are denying Nigerians visa is because Nigerians, whenever they get to other countries, they are not always in their best behavior. They are always committing crimes and going against the country's rules and all of that stuff. And that was why they were not giving Nigerians visa at that period. And so after everything, I lost everything. I was almost depressed. and that's the main reason why I had to leave this the my location to a new location, and I got a job, but I could not do that job because there was no accommodation for me, because I'm new in the state, in that particular state. So I had to look for another job that would offer workers accommodation. So I got this job in a bakery where it's a very big bakery, a very big bakery in the heart of the state. And they offered accommodation. The accommodation is super neat. I won't even lie, this bakery is a typical example of how bakeries are supposed to look, are supposed to be. Do you understand? The pay was not that much, but it was okay for a cleaner. I accepted to work because I needed a place to put my head and get to know the states before I would go out and look for other opportunity. I won't even lie. During my stay in this bakery, I cried a lot. Like I cried because with my qualification and my age, this is what I ended up doing after spending so much money, and I was downcast. But I needed to do what I had to do to put food on the table, to be able to bounce back again. So this was a step for me. One particular day, I was so overwhelmed with everything that was happening around me in this bakery. I had to call one of my sisters, and I opened up. I was crying, I was wailing, and all of that stuff. And she was like, "Calm down, everything's gonna be fine." Even though you travel out of this country, sure you would have gone to another man's country to be doing cleaner job or a nanny or a cook, right? And I told her, but that would have been different because the pay would have been worth it. She was like, "Don't worry, just see it as a way of training yourself so that when you get there, you overwork yourself." And that was when I started giving myself sense. I started paying more attention to my job and looking outside the box. Do you understand? My cry ended, not really completely. It was reducing as such, and so I spent a whole 1 month in this bakery. The idea was to spend 3 months there to save up enough money to be able to get an apartment and get a better job. But something led to another. I could not continue, so I stopped working in the bakery. And I'll see you on my next video.